Alright, so in this video, we are going to look at the factors of production. We are going to look at the various factors that are used in production. And in the learning objectives, we are going to explore all the factors of production. We are going to look at the various types, understand what each of them stands for. We are going to look at the various characteristics of each of the factors that we identify. And we are going to look at how important those factors are, as well as their relevance to the study that we are about to look at. So, factors of production, I want to ask you some few questions. What items can you identify when you enter a manufacturing plant? So, where they manufacture goods and services. What are some of the things that are the items that you can see? What are the contribution of those items? Do you ask yourself, what are the contributions of those items to the production or to the manufacturing? And then what are the significance of those items? What are the purpose? What are those items doing over there? Will you be able to classify them? Would you see some having some things in common and others not? What can you see that are common with some of the items you can identify? So the combination of what you see, if classified as factors that help in the production process, so you can put them together based on their characteristics. Then when we put all this together, we refer to them as factors of production. So they are those things that are put together to make production process possible. So all the things that are needed to produce goods and services is what we refer to as the factors of production. Now, you can look at some of them in this image. I have land. We can have capital. Capital, you can see various tools and vehicles, and then machines in there. Then you can see labor. Labor, you can see human beings with their tools ready to work. And then you can see enterprise, or sometimes referred to as entrepreneur. And they are having the idea on what is supposed to be done. So in this picture, we can see 4 different types that we'll look at in this lesson. Now let's look at the first one, which is land. So what comes in mind when you hear the word land? In economics, land may be different from what you know in science or in any other subject. In economics, land as a factor of production does not refer only to the surface of the land. Where what we walk on, we think that that is land. But in economics, there is a slight difference. What land means is that anything that is given free by nature in economics, we refer to it as land. Anything that is given by nature. So it can be rivers, it can be oceans, it can be the climate, it can be mountains, it can be fisheries, it can be mines, forests, anything at all that is given free by nature that man need not to pay for it, we call it land in economics. Okay, so we say that it includes all items that are available free of cost, which can be used in the production process. So Professor Marshall also defined land. He says that by land is meant not merely land in the strict sense of the word, but whole of the materials and forces which nature gives freely for man's aid in land, water, and land. So anything that is given free, we call it land. And then Professor F.K. Mata also says that land is a specific factor, or that it is the specific element in a factor or again that is in the specific aspect of something. So a specific aspect of something which is given by nature, we refer to it as land. What are some of the characteristics of land? One is that it's fixed in supply. That is, a given size of land can never be changed. I am sure you believe this. So we all know the size of Ghana, assuming we are able to get the size of the land that Ghana occupied. Nothing can change that size. So if you are having a plot of land where your house is built, nothing can change the size of that plot. So the land is fixed in supply, which means that any given size of land can never be changed. It can never be enlarged or reduced to any size. Just as it has been supplied, so it is. It remains fixed and it can never be changed. We can also say that land is geographically immobile but occupationally mobile. Geographical here is talking about location, and mobile is talking about movement. So what it means is that by location, land can never move. That is geographically immobile. It is impossible for land to move from one location to another. But occupation here is talking about what the land can be used for. However, the same piece of land can be put to different functions. So when we are saying it's occupationally mobile, it means that we can use it to do various activities. Then the reward for land is rent. So what we gain from land is that we rent it. So in economics, we don't sell land, we rent it, or we lease over a period of time, and then you get your land back. So what you gain from the rent is what becomes your reward. Then it's also a free gift of nature. One character of land is that it is given free by nature. Nobody have to buy land. Nobody can possess land. It is already given by nature. Then it can be put to alternate use. So we can put land to agriculture, to anything at all. A lot of things we can use land to do. There is also a primary factor of production. What it means is that it is also needed in the primary level. The primary factors of production are land, labor, and capital. These are the basic things that you need first before any other resource will come. And then land is also a passive factor of production. Passive factor of production in the sense that it cannot perform production alone. It needs assistance of other factors of production in order to be able to perform the functions that we are talking about. So these are some of the characteristics of land. So anything that possesses these points, we qualify it to be land. I hope you get it. So let's look at some of the importance of land. Land is important in agriculture. So in farming and all agriculture related issues, we use land. Is either the land that we work on, or river, or water, or all those things that are given by nature. It is help in agriculture, growing of crops, and then animals. Then industries where we have to build, we build on land. So it is the land that help us to build those industries that we see, those buildings that we use. Then contribute in production of goods and services. Of course, it's a major factor of production. So it helps in the production of goods and services. And then in transportation, all our road and our railways, it is land that we use to construct them. So land helps in transportation. That is the movement of one place to another. It is done by land. And even where we consider sea movement or moving on the river, a river and also in economics, or ocean in economics, or the sea in economics, is also classified as land. It sustains life. All of us live by land. We live on land, we use water, we use all the resources that are available, we classify them as land. And when we are able to put them in good use, it also contributes to growth in economics. It increases economic growth because it adds up to the gross domestic product. Then land also serves as source of power. So for the purpose of power, we generate power from water. Most of our power is generated from river bodies, and river is also considered as one factor of production. So these are some of the importance of land, its characteristics, and what it means in economics. Good. You have any question, you can let us know.